back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply Sepia matrix filter to live camera preview and image capture in Expo React Native application for Android using CameraX and Media 3 effect. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. So here I have just recorded the video, okay, and I'll just play the video. I'm giving the camera permission first. Then here is my live camera preview, and here you can see this is the Sepia matrix applied to this particular live camera preview. I also have the capture button. I'll click on this capture button and it will display the image inside an image view. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Now let's see how to get started with the implementation. So here what the next step is to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here. But if you want, you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank, less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also, the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately, the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why. But anyways, for our case this is fine. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you like, do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device? So you don't have to run it. You can just press Ctrl C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to mymodule.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like, this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default. I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why, that's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written. So feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Next we just need to go through this my module view.kt. By default this particular file will have some code inside this particular class. You can just delete all the code, like the web view related code which is present by default from this particular file. We won't be needing that. So firstly, this is my package name. Okay, now there are a lot of imports in this particular file, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports which are there. Now we have to again annotate this class with @unstable API, and given that this class was used in my module, that's why my module was also annotated with @unstable API. Okay, then here is on image taken event which we had defined it inside our TypeScript file. So this will help us to send the URI of the image from native Android side to Expo side. Here we are getting hold of our activity, then we are getting hold of our frame layout, then here is our camera, this is the preview, this is the image capture. Then here we initialize our capture button, here is our viewfinder like the camera preview view, then here is our camera executor service as well, and here we have the process camera provider as well. Then here we get the back facing lens, then here we set the layout params for our frame layout, and we add it to our parent view. Then this viewfinder is basically the camera preview view, we set layout params for it as well, and here we call this method. I'll come back to this method later on, but then we add our viewfinder to our frame layout. Then here we set the text background color, text color alpha for our button as well, set layout params as well, and we add our capture button to our frame layout as well. Okay, then we add a click listener for our button, and inside on attach window we just check if we have camera permission, then only we call setup camera. On detach from window we shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now like I said, we are calling this method. So if you want to know more about this, you can go to this particular issue which is open on React Native's repo. So this issue has been opened in React Native's repo since past 8 years. Why do we need this particular bit of code? Is we need to use this hack, otherwise your live camera preview is not visible and you will just see a black screen. That's why. Then here we call another method called setup camera, where we get hold of our camera provider future, we add a listener to it as well. And then here we call bind camera use cases. Then here we have this viewfinder dot display equal to null, then we just return back. Then here we get hold of our width as well as height. Then here we get rotation as well. Here we initialize our camera provider, then we get the camera selector as well. Here we define the aspect ratio strategy as well as resolution selector. Here we initialize our preview view. Here we initialize our image capture as well. Then here we have this use case group builder, where we add the preview use case as well as image capture use case. Then here we have this media 3 effect as well. Then this is the Sepia matrix. Now from where did I get these values? To be honest with you, I don't really understand this. I have just copy pasted it from the documentation. You can play around with this value, and here we just pass the RGB matrix of our Sepia filter to our media 3 effect. Okay, then here we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle, and then we set the surface provider as well. Then inside take photo method, we get hold of our image capture. Then here we get the file name using simple date format. Then we apply content values by passing the display name, mime type, and if and or version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file option, passing in the builder. Then here we have context dot content resolver as well as the external content URI. Then we do image capture dot take picture. Here we override the on image saved method, and here we have on image taken. So with the help of this on image taken, we set the URI of the saved image back to React Native side or Expo side. Then we unbind our camera provider. Here we just check, have a helper method just to check whether we have the camera permissions or not. And here we just define two variables, tag and file name format. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.